Alright, welcome to another episode of Inspired Content. We're working on TV series and short movies for this week. And this is the last episode of this week. And for this episode we're doing Serial Experiments Lain Navi is what it says on the box. And yes, this is the VHS. I will be watching this and then I'll give my thoughts and ideas that inspired. So I will see you on the other side. Serial Experiments Lain Navi. I don't know if it was a separate series than any others, but I'm going to give this a 5.5 out of 9.9. I tell you what it's based on, but I'm not exactly clear. I watched the first 4 episodes and I can't really tell you what the series is about. That's kind of why I'm less inclined to be terribly excited about it, but there's also a part of me, I want to know what it was I just watched, so I'm tempted to go look it up, but I want to do this first. Alright, so the things I was able to get from it as ideas are: a child prodigy hacker separated from their digital identity becomes emotionally disconnected, as if some part of themselves has been amputated. And maybe a story about them finding ways to reconnect and become whole again, whether that's outside of the internet or within the internet. How about empty human clone bodies having digital noise, the accumulated background noise, like you hear a murmur in a restaurant? Well, if you imagine the same kind of murmur over the internet, and you take that kind of cross-section of human interaction and you take a slice of it and use it as a neural pattern and lay it into a human clone, and they become individuals, but they're distinctly different types of people than we are. A person whose family doesn't exist in the real world, but whenever they need documentation or a phone call placed or a letter sent somewhere or a reference of some kind, somebody's always able to make an appearance, but they've never been seen in person because they don't actually exist. They're just a fabrication. Does the person that they're raising, does the person they're supposed to be the family of know they're not real? That depends on the story. Okay, a hive mind created with implants in a human head. Once you're connected to the hive mind, you're kind of always in a state of mind meld. Your thoughts are always going on between the heads of everybody else involved. So your body could just cease to exist and it wouldn't matter. You'd still be in among the hive. So it kind of gives the opportunity for people to not worry about losing their lives. That sort of immortality they can take over. But it also means that you get what looks like suicidal members of a cult. What about an ultrasonic device that over time rewires a section of the brain to be able to perceive the traffic of the internet within a given area, to sense it, to be able to be aware of it and interpret those signals? I mean, one of the examples in this series is a persistent hum from the power lines. And that hum is, any hum, is made of a series of on-off tones, and if your brain can kind of interpret those and relay them as actual data that you're perceiving going through those lines, if you could rewire those neural networks to pick up those things and decode that information, it would be an interesting story element. A type of human that comes into being with this technological age we're in that can do things with technology we can only just begin to imagine. And we're looking at like comic book invention kind of ideas. The characters that were able to invent suits of armor that are technologically advanced, or ray guns, or those types of things. But done in a way that's more focused on communications and network technologies. Being able to do things in a way that are sort of supernatural to a certain degree. Alright, that's the best I can do for this, and that's the end of the video episodes. Next week we're into board games and card games. See you on Monday.